suplex from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your WWE Elimination Chamber 2020 review. This took place live March 8th, 2020, and this Elimination Chamber is the final stop on the road to WrestleMania, and we'll find out if this pay-per-view pit stop was worth the diversion. Kicking it off here first with Daniel Bryan and Goo Lag. Normally, I would say, why is Daniel Bryan not doing something more important? But hey, he gets to kick off the show, and that's important to set the energy, to set the pace. Although they did have a pay-per-view pre-show match, but we're just going to ignore that. Goo Lag in some super throwback tights with the rebel flag looking tights that he's got going on there. But in this match, on the outside and on the inside, I've got cats fighting. Anyways, chaos, let it be remained inside of this review on the thing, not on these cats. Okay, regardless, suplex inside of the ring to the outside, supposed to be looking like it's going to be on the floor. They did this at AEW Revolution, but at AEW Revolution they actually completed that move. In here it looked like a mess, and people had scrapes, and it looked like they were cut, hurt on the outside. I don't know why you would do such a move. It looks incredibly dangerous, and just from what happened during this match, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So, Goo Lag drops Bryan on his head with a German suplex. This looks so incredibly brutal. I thought, they're going to have to just end this freaking match. Holy crap, you just dropped a man who had neck problems, who's been out of WWE for so long, and you dropped him on his head. I suppose Daniel Bryan is okay, but seriously, are these the kind of moves we need to be doing with Daniel Bryan? Like, what are they thinking? But Bryan, somehow, he can survive this. After being dropped on his head, he gets the tap out win. Good for Bryan. I hope he survived that, and I hope he doesn't wake up completely paralyzed tomorrow. I mean, seriously. Next up, we got Angel Garza taking on Andrade. So, we're having this match because Andrade, he was freaking suspended for a wellness violation, and now he's back. And, you know, good on WWE for not punishing him more than his actual punishment. I don't know why he got suspended, but he did. Now, Andrade, he is the U.S. champion, so he's defending that right here tonight. And of course we knew he was going to come back and face Angel Garza, because I mean, if you had a manager like that, and then she was managing this other guy, I don't know. To me, I feel like there might be a problem in the brewing. But regardless, in this match, one of the weirdest things I saw was there was a point where they started ripping up the floor. Not that we haven't seen that before, but they rip up the floor, exposing concrete. Now you have concrete right next to 2 layers of padded foam. So they do a backdrop, not onto the concrete, but onto the padded foam. I don't know about you, but if I was going to land on anything, twice the amount of foam is the one I'm going to pick. But Andrade, he's not really caring so much about getting a clean win here, or a very decisive win. Boy, he stacks up and rolls up and steals the victory, beating Angel Garza. And I thought, he could have just probably beat him just regular style. I don't know why he had to go to, something like that, a less decisive win. I guess he just doesn't care. Maybe he's just that kind of guy. As we move on, it's the first Elimination Chamber of the night. This Elimination Chamber looking very much lighter than the, 20 tons or whatever Eric Bischoff says. I don't care what anybody says. That chamber didn't weigh anywhere close to that weight that was being advertised. In this chamber, it looks like a very, very flimsy structure. And as we'll find out, it kind of is when the thing is freaking breaking apart on you. but less chains than we've ever seen, skinnier chains than we've seen in the past, and just the entire structure just looks like this flimsy aluminum cacophony of chains, metal, and plastic. Okay, padded on the outside as well. It doesn't look very ominous when the floor is padded. Miz and Morrison, they are the tag team champions, the SmackDown tag champions, and that is what this match is for. I think it's odd to have a tag team elimination chamber match for the titles, but that's what they got. And I saw Morrison and Miz do their promo on the pre-show, and Morrison went from somebody who didn't talk very much to talking almost too much. His stuff was funny, but it was just like just from both of these guys. And I mean, the Miz already talks enough, but boy, now you got Morrison, very talkative. He is a rambling man, is what he is. Versus Ziggler and Rude, Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery, The New Day, and the Denim Boys, the Usos coming out. My goodness, so many freaking tag teams, it's hard to keep up with this thing. We start off with the Usos and the New Day. You already know the Elimination Chamber rules. Other dudes are in pods, and at regularly scheduled intervals, they'll release a new tag team into the mix, and it is elimination style. Malik, actually both members of Lucha House Party, they're flying into this match once they get in here, and they do a Hurricane Rana. They're supposed to do it to both men in the ring, but they only hit one, and that was kind of funny because the New Day was actually the ones that caught him, and Big E was like, well, this didn't work, so he just ended up powerbombing dude on the ring, and I thought that was kind of hilarious. Miz and Morrison get into the ring. Kicks are flying, men are flying everywhere, but everyone's pretty much still in this ring. And the chaos is only going to ensue once Heavy Machinery throws their weight around. And I don't know how this happened, but Dorado, he gets up on the freaking cage, and he's hanging. And he's hanging by his hands, and he ends up doing a hanging moonsault. It looked like a shooting star press, but I don't even know how that could freaking be possible. Onto the hundreds of men down on the floor. But this is what the ridiculous part. He hits this move, and then their team gets eliminated. So I understand that it's high risk, but when you're high risk, you're ultra high risk, hanging from this demonic structure, doing a flipping move onto multiple people, pays off, but yet you still lose. I mean, that is horrible. It worked, but the team still lost. Maybe you got to rethink your high risk assessments here. When they freaking land the move and immediately get eliminated. If anything, that was just not a well-placed spot to me. Maybe he could have missed it and got beat. But I mean, to hit this huge move and then just get eliminated, sucks for you, dude. Otis breaks the chamber by running into it. Makes me wonder why they haven't invented transparent aluminum like from Star Trek 4. Yeah, transparent aluminum. That would definitely hold. Look. If you can go back to 1986 and put some humpback whales on a Klingon bird of prey that you stole while the Enterprise was getting blown up, and that transparent aluminum can hold those whales while you fly back around the sun and go back in the future, by slingshotting around the sun, I'm pretty sure that transparent aluminum would hold up in a match like this, and even Otis, this big boy, not even he could break it. But they don't. Ziggler and Rude, they eliminate Heavy Machinery, and Usos eliminate Rude and Ziggler. New Day is out. It's down to the Usos and the Miz and Morrison. Miz and Morrison are the champions. And Morrison hits a Starship Pain. Boy, he's kicking people. But you know what? It don't happen. Morrison gets popped. He gets super kicked. It's 1-2. But no, Morrison, he freaking kicks out. And believe it or not, Miz and Morrison, they come out of this one. They steal a victory. And they're going to continue to run their mouth because they are the champions. And they can still have that confidence because they still got... Well, I would say gold, but I don't think those belts are gold anymore. They're more of a silver color, which I'm okay with because that gold penny looking thing, those 2 penny championships, I was not about it. I didn't like it. Thought it looked like crap. Those belts they got now, they actually look pretty sweet. Blue for SmackDown, and they still got them on their shoulders. And what do the Usos have? They got sad looks on their faces because they did not win. I mean, WrestleMania is coming soon enough, but tonight they are very, very sad. Now we are seeing Baszler. She's getting ready for her big match here tonight. The Kabuki Warriors, they're pumping it up. And Charlie Caruso is interviewing Natalya. She wants to stand up for Beth Phoenix for getting RKO'd on Raw. We knew that it was going to happen as soon as Beth Phoenix said that she was going to be on Raw to talk about Edge and what happened to him getting RKO'd. I mean, come on, he's the legend killer. He strikes out of nowhere, and he's being pretty much a bad guy these days. So, but Natalya, cat lady and all, I never understood why she looks half bondage, half cat lady. I don't get it. I don't know. Is that like a thing? Because I got cats, and I have not seen such things. And I definitely don't wear cat ears to the ring. Anyways, Aleister Black and AJ Styles are first. This is a no disqualification match. And Gallows and Anderson are with AJ Styles. AJ Styles will be taking on The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So if he doesn't win this one, I don't think he has a chance in the world of going to WrestleMania and surviving against The Undertaker. But we got kendo sticks, we got chairs, and I'm sitting here thinking, if this is a no disqualification match, someone please explain to me why Gallows and Anderson aren't just attacking in this match the entire time. I mean, why wouldn't they? It's a no disqualification match. But surprisingly, they were on their best behavior for most of this match until they weren't. And the OC start attacking. But then the lights go out and the Undertaker's gongs throughout the arena. And the next thing you know, lights are back on, and Undertaker is choking some folks. He ends up choke slamming AJ Styles, and Aleister Black comes away with the victory here. Now, if I was to pay a ticket to go to see the show, I would have been happy just the fact that I got to see The Undertaker once again in person, because it never gets old to me. Well, even if The Undertaker is. But I was actually watching this here at home. Well, not for free. I guess I pay the WWE Network, but essentially for free. And I felt like I still got my money worth. My money's worth. Whether it was free or I paid the $9.99 like I do. Anyways, we move on to the Street Profits. They are the Raw Tag Team Champions. They're at gorilla position. So what does this mean? Well, it's time for them to cut a promo. And they're sitting there talking about everything in the entire universe as they do, letting us know the way it is. You know, I hate the fact, and I just gotta say that on Raw, and when they're at these shows and at these pay-per-views, say in the past where they weren't on a match, where they're just talking about the show, I always thought that that was a waste. Because these guys are very entertaining, and I get it, you know, you gotta have them out there if they're not in a match, you gotta get them talking so people keep them in their memories and people like them and stuff, but I wish it was just more pertinent to them and less about them being like a Todd Pettengill type person and being like, next up we're gonna have this, and boy is it going to be amazing. But they're out there doing their thing now, so I guess I should quit my bitching, because they're taking on Seth Rollins and Murphy. Now Murphy, he's part of this group with the AOP. I don't really think that he fits. He doesn't look rough enough. And I'm not saying he needs to rip his pants up or make his hair even more stringy. He just looks a little too prim and proper in the facial regions. I don't know how you fix that. I know he already has facial hair, but he just looks too clean. He always looks like he just took a bath, and he looks like he smells really good, which isn't necessarily a problem these days, and you should be washing your hands these days, well, every day, but especially when we got things to worry about as far as getting sick and such as that. Anyways, what am I even talking about? It is the AOP, and they're ringside. I'm thinking these guys are just going to get involved in this thing immediately. And, well, they actually do later in the ring, or later in the match. Words, words, words. Then the Viking Raiders come, and they even the odds and take these guys out. So good for them. Street Profits, they always look amazing. These guys are so freaking talented. I just can't get over it. I really can't. Murphy and Seth, they're doing their thing. Seth Rollins, I mean, I just don't feel like this is the best group, and this isn't the best set of storylines I've seen, but talented guys nevertheless. They show it here. Kevin Owens, he starts coming down Jon Moxley style, but instead of a championship, he's holding popcorn that presumably he got from a vendor somewhere. Maybe a fan, who knows, but he comes down with his popcorn and he gets it in Seth's hair. Seth does not like this. Yeah, he's got stringy ass hair, but he's still pretty upset about this whole situation. And the Street Profits come away with the victory. Seth Rollins is very mad, and he gets the stunner. So you got a lot of storylines crisscrossing here. WrestleMania is coming up sooner than you think. It is the next pay-per-view for WWE, and it's the biggest pay-per-view of the entire year. Does it feel like it? No, it doesn't feel like it to me. I have not been super into what WWE has been doing, sadly enough. I wish I would be, because the Royal Rumble is always one of my favorite times, leading into WrestleMania, which is, of course, a humongous big deal. But dang, it just doesn't feel like it. Why have they not made it feel so big? That is what I'm concerned about. I don't know. Next up, we got Braun Strowman. He's the Intercontinental Champion, and he's going to take on Sami. He's going to take on Nakamura, and he's going to take on Cesaro. But first, they have a promo, and Sami, looking like he belongs on the set of MASH, is saying that he's going to take on Braun Strowman by himself, and guys, don't worry about it, but be available for a tag, which I thought was weird, but whatever. I don't know what kind of hyper pill that Sami has been taking these days, but he was way too excited. Freaking out, man. Freaking out. I couldn't understand why. It was like he drank a whole pot of coffee and just forgot his freaking medication. I don't even know how to explain it. He was just freaking tripping. But it wasn't too long into this match that whole let me take him on by myself went by the wayside, and it was a 3-on-1 that Braun signed up for. Sami Zayn comes away as the new Intercontinental Champion. So no real big surprise there. He's the little leader of this group, and for anybody else to win, it wouldn't have really made much sense. In 3-on-1, how could he survive? Well, he didn't. So, is he going to go into WrestleMania and just win the title back? That was a hiccup. And I think WWE has also hiccuped up. I think they've hiccuped up big time. And I think they choked themselves up too. Because Braun, he could be the main event of WrestleMania. So many times in the past he could have won the Rumble. Why have they treated him like this? I don't know. He's even went with the new hair trends of the little mullet, mohawk, skullet, whatever the hell you call it these days that people are doing. It's becoming a very popular trend in such days, he's doing it as well. So, well, I guess he's doing it, and so is one of the Usos. But I can tell you this, I won't be doing it, because my head, it ain't that smooth. So, yeah, probably not going to be going in that direction for your boy. Now it's time for the main event. I think it's International Women's Day, or maybe it's just United States Women's Day. I don't know. It's some kind of Women's Day today, the day of this pay-per-view. So why not have the Women's Elimination Chamber as the main event? And here's the thing. Still to this day, the women have been having some of the most interesting storylines in WWE. I mean, if I was a dude in WWE, which I'm a dude, but I'm not in WWE. If I was in WWE, I'd be thinking, dang, how are these girls constantly showing us up? How are they consistently having better stories than us? I'd be going in for that competition. I don't know what the deal is, but this made sense why they ended the show with this. It's not even for a title. Strangely enough, it is for the opportunity to take on Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So that is, in fact, a big deal. It is Natalya. Well, of course she's got to be in the match. She has no chance of winning ever. But she's a recognizable name. People like her. She's known. And she's Natalya. She can help out these girls, right? Versus Sarah Logan, versus Asuka, versus Ruby Riott, versus Liv Morgan, versus Shayna Baszler. Who do you think I'm going to pick as the winner of this? It's got to be Shayna Baszler, because boy, does she look mean. She looks tough, and she's been kicking ass lately. And I believe she's going to do it here tonight. It starts off with Natalya and Riott. Riott hits a curled coffin drop from the outside onto the padded floor. They're fighting all over the place on this padded floor during this match. I don't know why, but they decided it's going to look brutal. We might as well do it here. And Sarah Logan, she enters. Baszler enters. And when Baszler enters, that's where things start going down. Talking about going downtown. Because she's coming in here to whoop some ass. If you had any doubts, those doubts are laid to rest. Because, oh my goodness, she is crazy. She's coming for it, I'm telling you. She might be taking that title at WrestleMania. But first, we got to see if she's going to win this match. Baszler, like a rabid dog. Then you got Liv Morgan. She enters. Liv Morgan gets powerbombed into the chains. And she gets tossed. And then she taps. Asuka enters this match. She is the final one. But Baszler, she's freaking killing everybody in this match. She's eliminating people. And one thing that I can't understand about the way they do the road to WrestleMania, this has bothered me for a while. The Royal Rumble, it's cool. You have an elimination style thing. The countdowns. Boom, boom, boom. Who's going to be the person who ends up facing somebody at WrestleMania? Awesome. But then you do the Elimination Chamber the very next pay-per-view, which is also elimination, that also has a countdown, which main event was something that the winner of this goes and faces a champion at WrestleMania. Why do you do two of the same things? But that's what they did. Okay. Asuka, she's defeating people, making people tap, eliminating person after person after person. And it's down to those two. Asuka, she comes in with her own submissions though, because Asuka, she's tough as well. She ain't no slouch, and she knows her submissions. Yes ma'am, yes sir. But Baszler, she's just too raucous tonight, as she wins, and now she will face Becky at WrestleMania. Do we got a WrestleMania sign? I don't even have a WrestleMania sign. But if I was, boy, I'd be pointing to it. I can't wait till WrestleMania. I'm not extremely excited about a lot of the lineup that they have, but you better believe that they pull out all the stops at WrestleMania. Sometimes they got surprises. Sometimes they just have hella matches. And I always look forward to the new sets and the new looks. Oh, and the video packages. Oh, and the new outfits, the new gear. Oh, it's nice. Oh, it's so nice. And the explosions and the pyros. All the hype of all these roads leading to WrestleMania. And Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's title against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, the champion. Boy, that's going to be something. Oh, it's going to be something. It's going to be nice. I can't wait to see it. I'll have more reviews before we get to there. But until then, I will catch you guys next time.